Hey everyone, sorry it's been a long time. Hope everybody's been doing great. So, I know I've been trying to do videos more often, but it just seems like time escapes me. So, this is going to be kind of like a quick rundown of the past 2 weeks that we obviously have had games and what I think. The first game, obviously, going into the season, we have a really tough schedule. A few games that I really thought we were going to win, which obviously the Broncos easily. That was not something that I would think that we would struggle. Um, I don't know if it's a part of it that their offense is now clicking, and that's probably why, or our defense is just even more step back, and it's making it harder for us to kind of basically punch teams in the mouth like we used to, or I'm not sure. I really don't know how I feel. But I know that the first game we won, which is great and everything, but I'm a little nervous because the second week I watched parts of it, and the parts that I did watch, we struggled a lot offensively, which going into the second week, I didn't think that was going to be a problem because we did pretty good in the first week. And don't know if it's just that defenses have studied the team and realized where our vulnerability is and exploited it, because now that makes me kind of nervous. So going into week 3, I'm very concerned because obviously Josh Jacob with negative yards last week, which is, I don't think he's ever had a game like that, makes me like worried. Is there something wrong? What's wrong with? Is it the offensive line? Is it because he's missed preseason? There's a lot of questions. Obviously, Josh Jacobs is very, in my opinion, very valuable because he's not just a running back. He also helps and gives blocks for Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball. And my worry is it the offense? That McDaniel's calling. Is it too difficult for them to understand? Or I'm not sure. Like, I'm really worried because, like I said, last year Josh Jacobs had a great year, but then again, I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen because the first few games, Josh Jacob wasn't really incorporated into the office as much as they wanted to throw the ball. First, the first game, I was really upset because you're you're at goal line, and instead of trying to run it in with one of the best running backs you have in the league, you go and attempt to throw the ball at goal line. And obviously, last week, that was not last week, the week before week 1, is when Jimmy threw his interception. And I feel like I feel bad because I feel like, not that, I think Jimmy is a player that gets told what to do, and he doesn't go past that. I'm still recovering from an illness, obviously, but I feel that he doesn't kind of think for himself. So if he's told to throw to a spot, he's going to do it. And that's obviously the difference of this team in comparison from last season when, um, our quarterback sometimes had disagreements with how the offensive play calling was. So it will be interesting going into week 3. Pittsburgh is an easier team. I don't want to say easier team because I don't want to say undermine any team that we go as an opponent. But if we do not bounce back, we have a lot of questions, okay? Because Pittsburgh has not won a single game. In each game, their offenses looked atrocious, atrocious. And knowing their coach Tomlin is a very smart man, he is gonna have something played up against us, and I wouldn't be surprised if Pickett looks not Pickett, Pickett, whatever. Their quarterback looks great against us. It tends to be the theme pattern is, you know, we're their good luck Chuck. Everybody has a great game against us, and we make them look great. And then the rest of the season, it's just every single team that you think we're gonna win blows us out or something. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I'm really worried because, like I said, um, Josh Jacobs has not been as productive, and I don't know if, like I said, he's been missing a lot of the preseason games. He's not really, I don't think he should be worried about the offensive play calling because he did play last year. So it's not like these plays I would imagine are all brand new, but you never know. So we'll see. Like I said, my worry also is Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't seem like he's very comfortable throwing the deep ball. I don't think he's very much thrown the ball past very often past 15 yards. So that's a big concern because a lot of defenses will see that we're too scared to throw past 15 yards, and all they're going to do is come up and take away our run, because our run is the next thing that is more threatening to them. Is, hey, Josh Jacobs can run. We know he can bust out tackles, and guess what? We'll just come up because Jimmy's not going to throw the ball. So what does that do? It takes away everything that we do. Short dink of passes that we've been doing, the screens, whatever, the slant routes, all that's going to be taken away because they're already going to come up. And then that also coming up takes away from the run because you're not going to have that easy alley or lane that's going to just, you're going to destroy all these, blocks because everyone's going to be there. So it's going to be very hard. I'm going to be interested in see how week 3 goes. And in fantasy, I do have Josh Jacobs, so it's going to be tough because part of me is worried that, this is going to be a continued pattern because of the fact that we do not have um, Jimmy that's capable, not capable, I don't want to say capable because I'm curious if this week will prove me wrong if he does actually have a ball, ability to throw the ball deep and, has that confidence. I mean, he does great short, intermediate passes, and I think he's much better than our previous quarterback with that. But when it comes to the big deep ball, I haven't seen anything that's been like, wow, he can throw that ball. When in comparison, we do have AOC, which I know some people don't like to call him AOC, Aiden O'Connell, whatever you want to call him, I don't care, okay? Um, he showed he played preseason. Granted, it's preseason, whatever the case be. Some people have their opinions, but I think he did amazing. He slang that ball like he knew what he was doing out there. I don't understand why he's not our second back quarterback. Like he's inactive. Hoyer is our backup. I thought the whole point of preseason is that quarterbacks prove themselves to be on the roster and position themselves on the roster. And the fact that they still have him inactive every week is pissing me the fuck off. Because if Jimmy goes down, I do not want to see Hoyer back there. Because what is the point? If you're going to put Hoyer back there, are we tanking? Are we purposely going to tank? Because it doesn't make sense. Because you have something that's talent on your line that's behind the second string, third string quarterback that you don't want to use if something happens to Jimmy, which happened week 1. Jimmy had to get out. So and my thing is like instead of just having AOC or Aiden O'Connell just back up and take a couple snaps and see what he can do, we have Hoyer who looked terrible, So I really don't know what's going on. I mean, Hunter Renfrow, we're paying him millions of dollars, and I think he only got targeted once or twice last week, and then before that, I don't think he got any targets in week 1. It doesn't make sense. Like we're paying people big money, and then we're not using them for the money that we're paying them. And Hunter Renfrow, I mean, can you imagine being a Pro Bowler two years ago, and then from being one of the biggest assets on the offense and to be just not even diminished? Do you have like a literally diminished, non-existent role? I can't imagine what's going on in his mind. I think if we don't have him incorporated this game coming up, I'm going to be pissed off, and then you just need to trade him because he's too much of a talent that, deserves to be somewhere else. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm worried about Josh Jacobs as this week goes on, and we'll see how it goes. So my lineup this week, I have Christian McCaffrey that I drafted in the first round. I had Josh Jacob in the second. I drafted A.J. Brown, which obviously A.J. Brown has not had the best of the seasons, but hopefully that turns around this week coming up. I have A.J. Brown. I have Deebo Samuels, who did great, and then I have who do I have? My flex, I put Rashad White. I put in my kicker. I just changed my kicker to the Dallas Cowboys kicker because they've been pointing up points, so that makes sense to have their kicker. Tight end, I had Freiermuth, which was, I feel bad for him because I think he's a great, tight end, but it's just his quarterback can't get him the ball. So I dumped him and got Hunter Henry. So I feel great going into week 3 of this season of fantasy. So wish me luck. I'm going against my hubby. So right now I am currently projected to win. So we'll see. I mean, I need Josh Jacobs to step it up. I need AJ Brown to step it up. And those two have been my worrisome part of my roster because they have not been the producing people that I thought they would be. So maybe I'll be surprised this week. All right, tell me what you guys think, and hopefully tell me what your lineup is looking like. And I hope you have a great day, guys. Bye.